3, 2, 1, roll 5.
It's time to help you unlock your greatness and be amazing.
That's it.
This is the AMAZIN Podcast. And we're featuring the amazing stories of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business owners sharing their journey to being amazing. That's right. Average to Amazing presents the AMAZIN Podcast. And now, here's your host.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Mr. Amazing himself.
Don't move. Keep it locked.
You already know.
Henry Goss.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the AMAZIN Podcast. I'm your host, Henry Amazing, and we have another amazing guest. So, Vic, go ahead, tell the people about yourself, what you do, and yeah.
What's up? I'm Vicky Carpenter. I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi. I now reside in the great state of Texas. I'm in the DFW area. And I've recently launched a duo service brand. I sell shoes in an online shoe boutique. And I also provide wardrobe styling services for individuals who want to take their look to the next level.
Okay, so what made you start?
Okay, so I can talk to you a little bit about how I got my start. My start was a non-traditional start, I feel like, and I feel like I'm still in the starting process. So one thing that I really enjoy to do is to dress up, put clothes on. I've always done that ever since, I can remember. I've always liked to just get fly. So in 2018, I had a prom styling giveaway in the Jackson area, in the Metro Jackson area, where I helped style a young lady in high school for prom. And I based it around the idea of being victorious. I started with the essay that I put out, an essay contest that I put out, and a young lady described, what she felt it meant to be victorious. And when I think about the word victorious, I think about I feel like it is a personal question. What it makes for you to feel victorious. I feel like there are several answers to what makes you feel victorious. Some days getting up and just getting out of bed can be a victory for you. Sometimes reaching a very amazing milestone in your life is a victory for you. Sometimes it might be, getting up and getting fly, and that could just be a victory for you because we all face different things. So I started with the essay, and the young lady, she wrote an amazing essay and described what it felt like for her to be victorious. And so I helped her get ready for prom. I styled her with a beautiful gown. I also had a couple of young ladies that I went together with that provided makeup services, and we got her hair done. I also am really close with the photographer. He was able to snap of her and her date some pictures, and it was a very fun and a very great experience. So fast forward from 2018 to 2020, I decided to go ahead. The pandemic hit. I was placed in a crazy place. I actually was laid off from my job. So I was placed in a crazy place on am I just going to sit around and, wait until I can find me something else? Am I going to really work on my passion project and put a little oomph into that since I did have some extra time? So I said, okay, let's go for it. I love shoes. Shoes are something that I've always liked to have. I like to have the latest shoes, but I also like things that not everyone else are wearing. So I like authentic and different pieces. So I started with the online shoutique, where I specialize in luxury aesthetics for affordable prices. So some of your favorite luxury designer shoes, I might have, affordable dupes for them. And I try to get a variety of different shoes, that can, that ladies love to wear. And then I also, along with the shoutique in August, I also launched a styling service. And since the beginning, I've expanded my styling services to a variety of packages. So now I offer closet revamps. I do styling for personal photography. I do headshots. I do personal brand development shoots. I'll pick you out clothes to go on vacation. I'll help you work with what you have in your closet and the budget that you have to help you take your look to the next level. So that's where I am now. That's where the question that you asked is where I started, and I feel like I'm still getting started. Like, I can tell you what pushed me, but I'm still in the beginning phase and I'm still getting started. So who knows, I might have extra things of why I got started the next time we talk.
All right, man, first off, that is incredible. Like, I remember back in 2018 when you first did the prom giveaway, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Like, what inspired you to want to like give back like that?
In 2018, I was actually working for Jackson Public Schools, and I came into contact with a lot of, young people that were, that needed extra guidance, or help with things of that nature. And I was inspired by the young ladies that I came into contact with, and I felt like that they could use extra mentorship in the areas of self-confidence. So one thing that I like to use or think about when I'm thinking about styling other people or getting dressed is the way that an inward expression of confidence is displayed outwardly. And when I would see, a lot of times I see young ladies that I feel like all they need is that extra help of confidence. And I think that's what really pushed me to do that prom styling giveaway, to just help a young lady, in the area of confidence, because I know that confidence starts from within, but once it's within and you can express it on the outside, it's just like, it goes back and forth. Like, you can just dribble off both. If you're feeling good on the outside, you're gonna feel good on the inside, and when you feel good on the inside, it'll be displayed on the outside. So I think that was my main inspiration for starting the prom giveaway, was to help a young lady, boost her confidence.
And that's so important.
Yeah, so the name of my brand is Victorious Style. Okay, stop. I never even said that, so you probably can add that somewhere.
Yeah.
So the name of my brand is VICtoriouStylesU, and it's actually like a play on words because my first name is Victoria. So Victorious Styles You. And that word victorious is just so important, and it's going to be embedded into my brand however far it goes, because that ideal of being victorious, like I said, is the way that you feel, or what makes you feel like, you feel accomplished, you've arrived, and you feel good about yourself. So all of my clients, I want them to feel victorious in whichever way that, makes them feel like their best self. So yeah, Victorious Styles You is actually a play on words. Victoria Styles.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's genius. Like, oh, yes. So I'll say, what makes you feel victorious?
That's a good question. I never asked that. Like I said, though, in the beginning, being victorious, I feel like it's an everyday. It can be changed every day. It can be altered every day. Social media now has it where like we're all looking. You see the people's best selves, like they put out their best selves. And, I enjoy that, and I enjoy watching that. But to be honest, every day is different of a way that I feel victorious. Like, some days when I get out of bed and I actually like wash my dishes, that's a victory to me, because I know that there's been days where I didn't feel like getting out of bed, and I wasn't productive. I didn't want to clean, And then there's also days where like this past month, I've styled way more clients than I've ever even imagined, or I've sold more shoes in my release than I've ever imagined. So today, right now, in this moment, watching the way that my brand has grown is a victory to me, and that makes me feel victorious. But whenever I can, be my best self, feel my best self, and look my best self, is a victory to me. That's what makes me victorious. Whenever I can be whatever that best self is, depending on the day, it can be different. But whenever I know that I've given my all, and I can feel, be, and look my best self, that's what makes me victorious.
First off, Henry, I'm talking to myself right here. cut out this part. You got that. And but yes, that's it. That's the voice. That's the clip that's going. That I'm like, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's true though. That's straight off the dome. That's straight off the dome.
So I guess let's dive into the growth you're seeing with your brand. Like, how does it feel to witness, this elevation with VICtoriouStylesU?
It's amazing. It's been crazy to say the least. Like, I've always had like in the back of my mind, like, what if I did this? Or, I'm a very outgoing person. I'm a people's person. You know me since undergrad, like you probably still remember, and I still remember my first encounter with you. They're just people, and I feel like that I'm one of those people, and people tell me a lot that just gravitate. I'm a people's person. Like, I gravitate to other people. Like, a lot of people will say like I can sell salt to a snail, and I probably could, but I feel like I'm very influential, and I've always had it in the back of my mind, but I've never had the guts or the courage to act on it. Possibly because of fear, because of resources, because of funds, because you need all that to make the dream work, just to be honest and be as transparent. But watching my growth, especially in this first quarter, the first month of launching my business, I probably started out with like, maybe 2 inquiries, maybe one that didn't go through and one that did go through. And then this past month, like even this past week alone, this week right here, like I've had a new inquiry. I've had like 2 to 3 inquiries every day. I've worked with, 3 to 5 young ladies who are just amazing women that allow me to have creative control and just want to literally take their look to the next level. Beautiful women who either just don't have the time or, just don't really feel like looking for outfits or don't know how to put them together. And just watching the way that these women, like the relationships that I form with these women have been the most beautiful part of the process to me. The growth has been amazing. I've had women that have come back, I helped them last week. They like, okay, as soon as I finish this week, I'm going to hit you back in 2 weeks because I'm going here or I'm doing this, So the growth in the respect of my styling service has just been amazing. Creating the relationships has been phenomenal. And like seeing these women's face light up, because like my process, I'll tell you a little bit about my process later, but my process, I go from the phase of consulting and you're saying, well, I'm going here, I'm doing this, but I have no idea what I want to do, to the last stage, which is like a follow-up, and they're putting the outfits on, and I could just see their face light up. Like, it's been amazing to watch that growth, and with my shoe teak, it's just been crazy. Like I went from the beginning, maybe like, I know you've seen the women talk about it on social media. Like, I didn't get shoes. Like in the beginning, like when I first launched, I probably had like 1 or 2 pair of, like sizes that, weren't as popular, to now I'm getting, like this last drop, I had a case full of shoes that women could get. So the growth has been amazing. The business growth has been amazing, but my own personal growth has also been something worth noting. I feel more confident. Imposter syndrome is not real. Like, do not play into it. Like, I feel it's a daily battle, but it is. Yes. It's not worth feeding into. Like I was saying, my personal growth has been amazing. Like, I cannot believe how much more confident I am. I'm so much more confident, and I trust myself. I trust my creative process, I trust my product, and I trust my services. So learning how to just trust myself has been the most amazing growth for me.
Man, it's so much we can unpack just from that little part right there. Like first off, the imposter syndrome, that's like what I have dealt with for like years. Like really, I'll say from 2018 to now. Like that's what I felt kept me in a prison from being fully myself, like I'm doing, in this moment. And it's funny, like when you said it's not real, like it's just interesting the way the mind works. Like the fact that like our own subconscious thoughts could limit us from being the person that we know we can be, because we know our talent, we know our abilities, And we've seen it work because, when you opened the boutique, after you got your first sale, you knew you got your proof of concept.
Yeah.
But even when you got your first client, through the styling service, it's like, you can do this, but it's just something feels just, I don't know. It
it's
feels
like, am I qualified to do, like, am I qualified? Will people, even trust me? Will they even pay to do it?
Exactly.
And I think it's a constant process, but I think the thing that helps you kill it or, try, and you can't always fully kill it. I'm not, I ain't even gonna lie and be like, some days I don't have the imposter syndrome or it doesn't run through the back of my mind, but doing the work and seeing the results, is what helps you stay from out of that mindset. So it's like a muscle. The more you work it and do it, the more confident and the better that you get to just kill fear and kill imposter syndrome and everything else, that's holding you back.
Hey, man, you said a word. It's funny because I'm making my episode today. I'm finally about to sit down and record mine, but that's gonna be that on my list of stuff to talk about. That's literally one of my main points. And honestly, that's really, I know this is like a whole thing, but that's really one of the driving forces behind the brand I'm building now is that I'm really trying to get people to realize that they are great. Stop thinking you average because you're not average. You are literally amazing. Right, Thank you. This is actually just a sample because I'm finally gonna redo the whole clothing brand thing, but I'm gonna do everything in-house because I've tried. I've done print on demand. I've done buying, getting from a print shop, but I noticed that my margins will be better if it's in-house. And I can personalize it more.
Yeah. And then you build slow, just like I told you. You start in-house, you see what works. And then when your demand starts overdoing that, and you have the ability to move, that's when you have the ability to scale, then that's when you do it. I think a lot of things that people are thinking, especially now in this age or this, wherever we are right now, it's like you want to start big or you want to seem big. And I think it has a lot to do with social media. You want to immediately get all the likes. You want to get all the followers. You want to show all the packages that you have, but you got to get it out the mud. You got to start from the ground up. Like I'm saying, I didn't start it from scratch, from nothing. 1-2 pair of shoes, to huge boxes that I never imagined in the beginning. And it's only going to grow. But I think a lot of people need to stop fantasizing, this huge place when you haven't even started from trapping shirts out your house, or, selling shoes, one a pair of 2 shoes or having only one styling client, So yeah, I think a lot of the time that we should think about, what's best for us and our business model at that time rather than seeing all this glory on social media because those things look good and those things look good and they feel good. And when people see them, you do get a clap, or a pat on the back, but ain't nothing like seeing somebody go from literally nothing to something. It's just way more behind that, and the followers and the likes, one thing I noticed is they don't equal they ain't gonna equal streams, they don't equal the money, they don't equal, you can have all these fancy elaborate things, but you ain't really bringing nothing in. So I think that's something that, you should think about when, thinking about where you started with your brand and what you want to do. Just think about how a little bit every day piling on leads to just something huge.
Most definitely. And to add, I also believe that, especially for anyone that is building a platform, whether that's a business, a service, or even just building themselves and their self-confidence and their own personal growth, you just have to remember where you started, and keep that in mind. And when you remember where you started, you will always be appreciative of your growth, and you're less likely to, start feeling away when you see other success. Yeah. Not saying that, you hate on them, because it's not hate or jealousy at all, but sometimes
it's a natural emotion. It's a natural emotion to see what other people, and I hate that people feel like, they don't never feel no type of way when, but that's a human natural emotion. Sometimes you have to embrace that, see what you're doing, and be like, oh, I'm tripping. You know, like I need to focus back on my own lane, you know, and that's something that since I've started, that's something that I've tried to do. Now, of course, I've seen other boutiques or, you know, stylists that are doing way more things. It seems like they're doing way more things than me, or, you know, and you get into that mindset of comparing that. But I feel like that's a natural and a human emotion. Like, though, even like you said, you're not saying that it's jealousy, but those feelings and those thoughts, it might not be that you're a jealous person, but you may have jealous or, you know, comparing emotions. And I feel like that's a normal emotion. I think that when you deny it, that's when the problem arises. You know, when you can see it and you can feel what you're doing, and then you can snap out of it, that's the power. You know, that's the power, to be able to see what, you know, that you're comparing your lane to somebody else's. See it, feel it, embrace it, and then move on, you know, and realize that you can snap yourself out of it and tell yourself, okay, get back focused. It happens.
With the shoe tee, you know, I've seen the you know, comments, the feedback that, you know, people are saying on like Twitter and Instagram, especially when it comes to like your releases, because one, like, they go quick, but two, I know that people, they're like, oh man, I wish, you know, you had this style or that style. So, you know, if you don't mind, just let us know like your methodology behind, you know, how you release those shoes that make everybody just go so crazy.
Yeah, they do be going crazy, and I love to see them go crazy, but I cannot stress to you enough like how much anxiety I have on release day, because I'm always like, do I have enough? Like, people are like messaging me, or even people that are close to me are texting like, I gotta have these, you know, like, I hope you got my size and all that. But a little bit about Victoria's footprints, the way that I select my shoes, they're always whenever I release anywhere between 5 to 6 different styles. In December, my Christmas collection, I had a larger collection, which I featured 12 days of footprints, like the 12 days of Christmas. But for like my normal releases, I do about 5 to 6 pair of shoes, and I go in and I pick things that I feel like are unique. Like I said, a lot of my shoes, they're affordable, but they have luxury aesthetics. And I love that about them. It's for the woman who, you know, not necessarily like, yeah, she might buy some designer shoes or whatever, but she wants some shoes that are just not so expensive. Another thing that I really like about the shoes that I pick, like I said, I started when I started in the beginning, I probably had like 1 or 2 sizes, you know, because like I said, I did start organically. I started from literally, you know, I used what I had to start. But like I said, over the last few months, I've been able to grow tremendously. And all my shoes are exclusively picked for originality. So one thing that I like when I'm shopping for myself is I like to get things that are unique, not that things that a lot of people just don't have. I hate to be the person that's like, I don't want nobody else with what I got on, but it's just something about, you know, having your own unique style. So that's one thing that I focus on my shoes. I do not do restocks, you know, and they only come in, as of right now, they only come in, you know, select sizes. But I feel like that way my customers are a part of a select few, you know, and they stand out. And when you see them, like when you in Jackson and you see a girl with some shoes on, you know, not saying that no other company sells the shoes that I have, because that's just unrealistic, but, you know, you can just spot like those shoes are very unique, you know, and I haven't seen 50 other people with these shoes on. You know, now we living in the age now where everybody want to wear the same thing. Everybody want to catch the ones when they come out, you know, so I think that staying true to that when I'm selecting my shoes for my brand has helped me in more ways than I can imagine. You know, they're all exclusively picked. They're all unique. You know, when you get on there, you get them or you don't. And if you don't get them, you know, it might be a little fuss, but I'm telling you, I'm going to double back on you in a couple of weeks and have something else for you. Another thing that I like to consider when I'm choosing my collections is I like to have a variety of shoes for every woman. You know, every woman don't want to wear stilettos pumps in the club. You know, some women want to just wear a comfy sneaker, or some women want to wear a sandal or a strap up. I know this is like woman talk. You don't really get all this, but your wife.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, you know, I try to pay attention, you know, because wifey do her, you know.
You supposed to, but yeah. So I try to get a variety of something for every woman, you know, and I have sisters and I have a mom, and we're all close, and we're very fashionable women. So I always try to put a shoe in there, like, what would my mama wear? You know, my mama ain't finna wear 6-inch stilettos. I'm gonna put a shoe in here because my mama loves shoes. I think that's where I really got just this obsession with shoes. Like, my mama's shoe closet is ridiculous. Like, she has so many shoes that it's awful. But I try to figure out, you know, what will my mama wear? I have a little sister. Where would my little sister like to be in? And then I have an older sister. My older sister, she's a young mom. What would she like? You know, what would she like to wear? So I always try to consider every woman. I want every woman to be represented in the collections that I have. So yeah, that's a little bit of the way that I go about selecting my shoes, the way my inventory is set up, and just I want it to be an exclusive experience shopping with me. You know, I don't want you to feel like you can go do it somewhere else, because if you could, you know, you would.
Exactly. And like I said, and it's funny because literally with each drop, I see both sides. I see the women that are like, yes, I secured, you know, I secured my pair, but I see the other side where they're like, ah, man, like I gotta, you know, try again next time.
You snooze. I'm telling you, the best way to get my shoes is to subscribe to my website. When you subscribe to my website, you get a little bit of an early release. Not too much, because I don't like for my subscribers to like clear my whole website, which they will do, clear my whole website before, you know, the general population gets it. But just become a part of my community. My subscription list is growing, and I don't just offer, you know, early releases. I also give you styling tips, you know, to your inbox, or, you know, exclusive deals and discount codes. So it's a tribe that I'm trying to build, and I feel like, you know, that's the best way to stay a part of my little tribe that I'm building. I need a name. I need like a fan club name, like the Beehive or something. I ain't made that one up yet, but that's what I need.
Man. First, Vic, I want to thank you for, you know, sharing your time, sharing your journey. But before you go, I have to ask you the question that I ask everyone, and that is, what does being amazing mean to you?
I'm going to double back down on what I said. Being amazing is how I feel on the inside, how I display it on the outside. I feel like whenever I feel like my best self, I'm amazing. You know, whenever I can touch somebody else and either inspire them to do something different, you know, whether it's, she's inspired me to put on these shoes. You know, she's inspired me to wear this shirt this way. You know, whenever I can inspire somebody else, I feel like that's what makes me amazing, you know, from the inside out, whatever it is. I feel like I'm amazing when I can help somebody be victorious.
Thank you for listening to the AMAZIN Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow us on all social media at the AMAZIN Podcast. We'll see you here next time.